What's up guys, Blue Zerker here, and today we're going to be showcasing a Krookodile deck. This Pokemon's really interesting. Poaching Fangs for 2 Dark Energy and a colorless does 90 damage. It lets you flip 3 coins, then for each heads you get, you rip a card out of your opponent's deck, shuffle it back in, and you get to see it. So there's a level of like, haha, gotcha. Too bad that rare candy's been rotting in your hand and you can't find your stage 2. Or sometimes you watch a Solgaleo disappear and you go, bye-bye, broken meta BS. But we are going to be playing Krookodile. Now this isn't the best deck in the world. I'm going to showcase some of the things that this deck does well, but mainly what this deck doesn't do very well. We've got a rare candy double Krookodile line. This is because Krookodile has 3 energy requirements and there's no way to accelerate it. A lot of the times with like the 2 energy stage 2 Pokemon, rare candy does a lot because going second, you can get the energy on it, you can get the second energy, and then you can attack on that other turn 4. But what happens with Krookodile is you can evolve and you're just sitting there. It's like when you get the awkward going first interaction where you have to evolve into the energy step that you're not at yet, and you just spend 3 turns not attacking until you can finally get to the point where you can attack, and you're probably knocked out by then. To go and alleviate some of that going first pressure, we have the double coughing, double wheezing paired with Koga. This is going to let us bounce it back to our hand, tank a couple of hits, and ideally it'll survive. Now the biggest problem with wheezing is 110 HP, dies to Solgaleo. You could probably cut something like the Krookodile for the cape, Guzma maybe for cape, but if the opponent has barb, it doesn't matter, and so even then, like, you really didn't get anything done. We've got double Pokeball and double research for consistency, along with 1 communication. This is nice because you can trade out that other wheezing or coughing. You can even Koga back wheezing and do like a communication play from there if you don't need the wheezing again, which is cute. We have Mars and red card. This is always going to put ourselves in a position where we could rip the opponent's entire hand. And then we have Guzma in order to stop those barbs and whatnot that I was talking about. Barb plus Nihilego is just kind of going crazy right now, and so you have to have ways to deal with it. Otherwise, you take a minimum of 40 damage for literally just hitting your opponent, and that's really frustrating, especially with these HP totals that we have. Puts us in a weird position. But we're going to hop right into the games. I want to showcase some of the strengths that Krookodile does actually have, and we'll talk about some of the weaknesses too. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy, leave a like. Don't forget to comment. Poaching Fang, which card do you want it to not rip out of your hand? And hit the subscribe button. It's super important for a smaller channel like mine, and it really means a lot to me as someone who's spending a lot of time working on this stuff. It's really nice to see that people are actually enjoying it. But anyway, we're going to hop right into those games. I've been Blue, and I'll smell you later. All right, everybody, we are going first this game, and we are already in for it. You know, going first is not where we want to be on a 1-2-3, stage 1-2-3 line. It just doesn't work out very well. We are going to get Pokeball into coughing. We have the Sandile lead. 2 retreat cost on this thing. They really didn't want you being able to get it out. They said, you're going first, you're going to lose. But maybe we can pull something out. They have the Cosmog, though. They are already ahead. They're going to Morello Lust for weakness. Kind of a misplay, potentially, if they, depending on what they have in their hand. We have the second, line, though, in the Krokorok. And this is the problem with these design Pokemon. We're always an energy behind our ability to attack, because we need 2 to attack, and we need to evolve next turn to stay alive. Then we're just never able to knock back the opponent, and the payoff has to be worth it. They should not search a card. I'm sure they've got the Solgaleo in hand now. Now they're just looking for the rare candy or the Cosmo, and they're going to attack us. We're going to draw. We draw Communicator. We throw Krookodile down. Now we have this big beefy boy, but we're not going to be able to do anything with him. We communicate the other one away because we're looking for the other Sandile. Maybe we can get it set up, and hopefully something will happen there. I mean, we would be able to live 1 hit from the Solgaleo, but we're not going to be able to live 2, especially when we've taken any damage before. So they're going to draw. If they get something going, this Shiinotic, though, they have to have Cosmoan, right? They've got 6 cards in hand. They Sabrina us out. Hold on. They Sabrina us out. We Wheezing. They throw an energy on the Cosmog. They couldn't attack us anyway. They gentle slap us, actually preserving Krookodile's health too. We draw their red card. We're going to red card their hand away, down from 5 cards to 3. You can't search rare candy. Guess you got to play the Cosmoan after all. Should have watched my video on it. We're going to Koga back Wheezing to the hand, put coughing down. Now we're suddenly Poaching Fangs. It does deal 90 damage, which is good on a utility. We flip, we get tails, heads, heads. We rip 2 cards back into their hand. See your rare candy, see a Shiinotic. We don't know if that's what they were holding because we did red card them, but now they don't even have Morello set up to like get going again. We're gonna see what they do. There's the Morello. They drew it for turn, it looks like. Now they're set up for nothing. We have the Krokorok. We have Wheezing coming in. We're gonna go ahead and Poaching Fangs again, knocking out the Cosmog. We're gonna flip, and we're gonna take the last card out of their hand as well. See ya, Guzma. We weren't playing any tools anyway, and now the opponent needs like Professor's Research, Shiinotic off the top into Professor's Research into Rare Candy Shiinotic, and then Shiinotic needs to pull Solgaleo, and they can win the game off of that. But if we noticed, as soon as the Darkrai coin flipped head, it said waiting for the opponent to return. And I think we had our first rage quit of the day. Here I'm turning my Wi-Fi off so I can go for a walk while I'm waiting on the opponent to come back up. That way I'm not getting the weird little loss of transmission. And they're just gone. I mean, we can patiently wait. They do have an out, but I don't think they're going to play it. So we were able to use that Poaching Fang to great effect in this battle, ripping a bunch out of the opponent's hand. You can't search rare candy. If they end up putting like Arven in Pokemon TCG Live, we're going to have something else to worry about. Being able to search that rare candy is crazy, but overall, really cool that we were able to get the combo off and the opponent was just not there. Something like Krookodile is going to benefit from the fact that the opponent is running something more inconsistent, but our deck itself is not particularly consistent. Time limits popped up. They've got 5, they've got 4, they've got 3, 2, and they didn't come back. I'd probably get fed up and leave if I got red card double ripped anyway, but this time we're going to go second. We see Sandile, and that Pokeball is going to guarantee us a Coughing. They've got Charmander. They could already have Rare Candy in hand, and they could beat us out. This is the problem with a deck like this. They throw the Barb down on top of it. Yeah, I know. It always worries me to attack into it, but I do go ahead and Pokeball for that Coughing. Then we're going to red card them down. I always feel weird about red carding here. I want to always use it off of research because I assume the opponent doesn't have it until they hit research, but sometimes you just got to pull the trigger. We're going to bite them to deal 20 damage. They've got Charmander here. If they evolve into Charmeleon, they can survive. They Iono, they're looking for something. They actually gave us a Communicator. They gave us Rare Candy. So if we draw one of our Krookorooks or Krookodiles, they combustion us for 20. We have 30. If we can draw Krookorock off the top, we draw Krookorock off the top. We're just going to straight up knock them out. This is the thing about a 1-2-3 line going 2-4-6. You do get to attack on curve, and if the opponent doesn't have anything, well, guess what? That's a win in our book. We didn't poach, but we did take them out. We're going to be going second once again. We have the Sandile, we have the Krookorock, so we're going to be able to at least be attacking on curve, so that's nice. We see Gibble here. This is the Dragon Gibble, so we're not going to be weak fighting, but then this is when I learned that Sandile is weak to grass anyway and not fighting. We're going to draw. There's the Krookodile, so maybe there is something here. I actually decided to go ahead and throw the energy on the Sandile. This is kind of a misplay, kind of not. The problem is we're going to be taking damage on our Sandile in front, and it takes too long to get set up. Right here, if they end up hitting Garchomp with the Rare Candy, we're going to lose anyway, so I guess it didn't matter. We probably could have Sandiled. We Pokeball to grab the Coughing out. That's only there for the insurance of going first, so here it really doesn't do a whole lot. We've got Krookodile back here, and we are going to be a turn behind on this. Maybe I'm kicking myself for not putting it on the Sandile up front. They do have Rampardos, though, and so they would have been able to immediately knock out our Krookodile had it have been up front, so I'm glad we didn't make that mistake. They're going to Sharp Fang us here, Sharp Scythe, and we're going to go down to 20 HP. We draw. We see the other Krookodile. We have Weezing here. Sandile having 2 retreat costs really sucks. We're going to go ahead and bite this goodbye. Maybe we can get at least a little damage on them. Then we're going to see what happens from there. They can Rampardos us, and we don't deal enough damage to knock them out, so they knock us out. And so if we're too far behind, we'll be too far behind. But if we draw Koga, we could poison him and then attack with Krookodile and then survive the Rampardos. Just see what they end up doing. They do Sharp Scythe into the Krookodile, though. They're going to take that first point, but now we can get Krookodile, Krookorock, on the field. We're going to Pokeball into the Coughing. We don't have the other one, of course. We've got the Poaching Fangs. We're going to knock out the Goodbye. We're going to flip our heads. We get Tails, heads, heads. We're going to rip 2 cards out of their hand. We see Sabrina gone, and we see Rampardos gone. Unfortunately, they already have Rampardos set up on the bench, and this is the problem with something that takes so long. It's the same problem with Raticate. It takes too long to get it set up. Watching the opponent go turn 1, turn 3 Rare Candy while you have a Alolan Raticate on field, on curve to attack, but it's too late, feels really freaking bad. We throw the Coughing out here. We are going to get the Poaching Fangs, so we should be able to knock this out. We are going to rip another card out of their hand. Lily goes back to the deck. That'll actually keep us in the game at least for a little longer, and then we're going to see that they have the Rare Candy. We got the Lily, not the Rare Candy. There's the Garchomp EX, and now we don't really have a chance to take that bad boy out unless something crazy happens. Weezing just doesn't deal enough damage fast enough. And fun fact, Weezing is weak to fighting, which means we will get knocked out by the Dragon Fang. They're going to head smash us here. They're going to live. We can at least knock the Rampardos out, but we're not going to be able to have enough time to take the Garchomp out. We are going to draw our last card. We see the Mars. I'm going to go ahead and throw it down. We know we're about to concede anyway. We've got Weezing. We Gas Leak. We Tackle. We get the Rampardos knocked out, and man, it was just so close. If we would have hit that Rare Candy instead, Lily would have been, live, and then they could have done that, but One more heads and maybe could have been the difference here. Oh well, there's the Dragon Claw, and goodbye Weezing. I'm so sorry for your loss. Lycanroc also destroys Weezing, side note. We're going to be going first in this game, though, and again, rough spot to be in. We really want to see second. We want to see 2, 4, 6. We're going to be playing against another Solgaleo deck, and now we're going to draw our card. We see Guzma. We have Pokeballs in hand, so we can at least activate those, and now we're just going to see the reality of what's happening here. We've got Coughing, we got the other Pokeball, we have the red card so we can +1. We are going to be able to pass it to the opponent. This way, if they Iona, which they probably play, we can at least get that something else that we need, and keeping that Coughing in hand helps because we're not going to need to establish a second Weezing. They have the Cosmog here, they're going to get an energy on it, and they're playing more correctly than our opponent was earlier. Not worried about dealing the little chip damage to Sandile because they have probably Cosmog ready to go. We're going to go ahead and research, of course, nothing else for us to do. We draw, we see Weezing, and we see Sandile. We're going to throw Weezing down on the bench. It'd be nice to like retreat Sandile out right now, but it's got 2 retreat costs. We're going to red card the opponent. It's always nice to red card after research. We draw. We're going to attack with that bite with the Sandile. Morello down to 40. We can knock it out with Krookodile. So maybe we're not going to lose. We just need to see it off the top. They are going to go ahead, activate that Pokeball, get another Cosmog out. There's the Cosmo, and we really don't want to see Solgaleo. They're going to Stampede us. We're at 40 HP. We draw. We see research. Can we get what we're looking for? We're going to draw 2. There's Mars. There's Weezing. That's a little bit annoying. We're going to throw this energy on the Sandile, and we can rare candy up. And this is part of where the problem of being a stage 2 3 energy attacker comes from, because while we got the rare candy, we are just going to immediately be taken out, especially because of that weakness. So what an awkward situation to be put in. They Rising Road, they're going to come up to the front into that active, they promote, they knock us out, and we don't have any chance left in the game, and we're going to go ahead and concede. Maybe if we had gone second. All right, this game we are going to be going second, but unfortunately we didn't see Sandile. So we can leave with Coughing, we can always look for the Weezing. We are going to see the Morello come down, Solgaleo is so strong, and unfortunately this is just the reality of what's going to happen if you're playing Krookodile. That first game we played was really cute, really funny, that we were able to rip the opponent's hand apart and red card them and stop them from getting off what they were going to do. But that is largely not going to be the case 95% of the time. We're going to Suffocating Gas, deal the 40 here. If we see Weezing, we can at least knock it out, but there's the Shiinotic, and they're going to research. They're going to draw 2 cards. They're going to be able to Shiinotic search. They probably should have Shiinotic searched first. Maybe they're looking for the Morello Pokeball. Just depends exactly what the composition of the deck is. And there's the rare candy. There's the Solgaleo. And just like that, we've lost the game. We're going to draw. We see Mars. This isn't going to do anything. We have Coughing, and we concede. All right, this game we're going first, and once again, frustrating position to be in. I really wish decks were designed a little bit better. We see the Silvally come down. This thing is just a showcase of some of the really powerful top-notch things in the meta right now that are getting constantly played. I'm ready to build a Fight Box deck and take Silvally out because it's really, really annoying, and I thought I was going to like that card, but I hate the way it gets played. We have Type Null attacking. At least we get the Tails, so they're only going to deal 20 damage. We're going to draw. We have Weezing in hand. We have Research. We can at least get Sandile set up. We see Krookodile. We have Rare Candy. We can Weezing here, and we're going to go ahead and throw the energy on it because we can kill this thing in 2 turns, and we're going to Rare Candy up the Krookodile. We're never going to be in a spot after this much time has passed to be able to hit them for 20, 40, 90 because whatever they have set up is going to deal more damage, so we need to get him at least here on the bench so he can survive a hit. They're going to go into Silvally though immediately, and we see in the back they have Charmander, so they're playing like a little wacky, little wonky version of this where they're just trying to get like a Stokesard set up in the back. I guess they're hedging their bets on going first versus going second. We throw the Krookodile out, we draw, Pokeball in hand, we're going to throw it down, we're going to see a Sandile. That's cute. We can use the fact that this guy is in front as a tank. We're going to red card him down to 3 cards. Hopefully, if we can keep him from getting a supporter, we'll actually be in an okay position. We see the Silvally. They're going to get the other one set up. They send out the Gladion, though, searching the other Silvally and empowering this Silvally. What a good card. What a way to make this card really freaking powerful and really freaking annoying. And once again, it going second is even that stronger. We do get the Krookodile here, though, so we're going to utilize this Krookodile in the front as our tank as we get the other Krookodile set up in the back. They Rare Candy, though, and now we see Stoke Charizard coming out, and we are just in a freaking position here. They're going to research, powering up their Silvally. It wouldn't have mattered, though, because we were going to take the 50 anyway. We can send out the Krookodile. We are going to draw a card, and then we're going to send Krookodile out. Maybe if we can get something crazy here, right, like a Sabrina into a this or that, but the deck's just not capable of doing it. It requires too many pieces to make Krookodile work well. We're going to Poaching Fangs. We can at least see what they're playing, so we rip a card, we rip a card, we rip a card. We get all 3 of the cards. That's crazy. If there's a reality where you can rip 3 cards out of the opponent's hand and still lose, unfortunately, the Poaching Fangs is not going to be very good. If this could do 2 cards for 2 energy, it would actually be way, way, way stronger. Just being on that backwards curve, they are going to throw the Iono down 2 just to be like, hey, here's another 50 extra damage, and that's going to take us out. You know, we have the Poaching Fang, we don't knock Savali out, and he just naturally beats us by attacking. He doesn't need to draw a supporter, and even if we were able to take him out, they've got the Charizard EX in the back. So unfortunately, this is going to be the Poaching Fang reality. We are knocked out by the strong, powerful deck, and then we are going to have to be sad and take our defeat. Yeah, so as we saw, Poaching Fang just takes too long to get set up. If you got to the point where you could set up a stage 2, 3 energy attacker, you were probably already winning, despite the fact that you're disrupting the opponent's hand. I mean, it's cute and it's nice to be able to say, hey, whatever you're doing, we're ripping it away. Oftentimes we see Mars is actually way more effective of a hand ripper anyway, and a lot of decks with like powerful EXs. So unfortunately, Krookodile just doesn't make the cut. If this thing had 1 less retreat cost on the Sandile, that would help a little bit, but just being that stage 2, 3 energy attacker, can only do anything going second. Even when we have options for going first, the actual Krookodile doesn't do it. So often the opponent just rare candies you before you have the opportunity to disrupt them, and rare candy combos are the main thing that you're going to be trying to beat with Krookodile. We're also less reliant on rare candy because we're that 3 energy attacker. That's why we have the 2/2/2 and then 1 rare candy set up in this deck, but unfortunately it's just not enough. I mean, you could cut a Krookodile for an extra rare candy, but it doesn't do enough for you. I mean, you can communicate into Krookodile, you can't really search rare candy, and being able to accelerate a whole turn doesn't do enough if you're not playing like Shiinotic or something else to be more consistent. So yeah, unfortunately, Poaching Fangs is going to stay illegal. You know, poaching is an illegal activity, and maybe it's good that it's not good, because otherwise we would go to jail. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a like. Sorry that Krookodile is not as good as we want him to be. You know, that little colorless energy on the end implies like, hey, you could Zera or Giratina Dawn combo it up, but at that point you've dedicated so much space to a combo that still loses to your opponent rare candying before you were able to interact with it. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're getting closer to our goal. 251 is our Johto Pokédex number that we're trying to hit. It really means a lot, especially for a smaller channel like mine. But anyway, I've been Blue. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll smell you later.